What's up, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with NIO, Tesla, SPY, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's happening with the overall market moving forward, what you should be watching for as time goes on. And I'm also looking approaching tomorrow. But let me just mention that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Looking at NIO, we got a nice green day today as we had some bullish news coming out. Besides that, NEO is now going to be testing this 3.8 area as support. If we hold above this, we will be pushing closer to $4 tomorrow. If we don't hold it, we're going to be making our way back down towards 3.75. So the question is, will we hold? That depends on what the overall market does. The structure looks a little bit more bullish if we hold this support, so I do see potential in this, but just to be safe, we'll be watching some key levels. So please note that tomorrow is going to be Friday. There's not really much data coming out, but the next time we have big data is going to be on Tuesday, and we have PPI, and Wednesday of next week, which is when we have CPI coming out. So there's not really any major data left for the week until next week. So for now, we're not really paying way too much attention to data. I do want to note that we did have some earnings that came out. We had Sound, Hound, not to mention Paramount. Paramount did relatively well for earnings. They announced they're going to be cutting 15% of their workforce. And then on top of this, EPS was a nice beat by a long shot. They actually beat on EPS by a big margin. Revenue is a little bit below expectations. They actually dropped by 11%, missing some analysts' estimates. But what's good is the fact that we're looking at a profit for the quarter of about $26 million after losing $424 million a year ago. So that's some good news for them. People were estimating a loss of $265 million for the quarter. They actually did relatively well on that end in terms of profitability. And they did have to raise some prices, but that's completely fine. So that is, in my opinion, very, very interesting to see, especially as we had some good pieces of news. For their guidance, things are so not bad whatsoever. And the fact that they have that profit coming up is some good news for them. So that's why I think the share price is in the green. Fear, extreme fear is still making up sentiment. The market is trying to rebound. SPY is reclaiming its 125 daily moving average. Instead of being extremely fearful or just fearful right now, so the market is trying to rebound. We're still seeing extreme fear in the puts and call option positioning, as we're still seeing more puts being bought. The VIX is still on a nice breakout, so we're just going to be waiting for this. For NIO, they're launching one pedal driving in Europe for its latest software update. This is very, very cool stuff. They announced this on Thursday as they have their next software release, and they're highlighting one pedal driving across the 5 models available in the European markets, which is very popular amongst Tesla models. So very, very cool. As people gradually lift their feet off the accelerators, it will start decelerating, causing the car to use regenerative braking, which is very, very useful for lots of EVs like this. So there's also been a lot of talk about how there's going to be another updates to NAMI, the in-car voice assist, for more natural and human-like interactions. So very, very cool stuff. They posted this on their Twitter page. They're calling it Happy Catter Day, which is kind of funny. They're saying this because it's National Cat Day or International Cat Day, and I think that's pretty funny. They're just, once again helping to interact with their users, giving them a lot more humor and insights. Volume is at 35 million. This is below expectations. And finally, Bank of America Securities gave us a neutral rating. So there's not really much going on. What do I see for the share price? We are looking a little bit more bullish. If we hold above 3.8, I'd be looking for a push for very close to $4. If we end up losing 3.8, look for a dip, but this chart's looking a little bit more in favor of bulls. I'm going to go over just a few more real quick. For SPY, there's going to be a big test tomorrow, okay? We're pushing towards 531 as our resistance. If we could break this tomorrow, we're going up to 535. This is a very, very tight resistance. The last time we touched this, we did get a big rejection. So if we get that rejection, we're going to easily come back down to 525. So watch 531. If we gap up above that and hold above it, look for a push. If not, we're going back down to 525. This depends on what news comes out for the broader markets. There's not really much data coming out, so we're just going to have to wait and see. And that gives the market the possibility of trying to push higher. So far, we do favor upside. There is no sign of this rejecting so far yet. So wait and see if we could hold above 531 tomorrow morning. That's just going to be the key level, and it's very simple to watch for. So just be patient, and we'll see which way we go. Nvidia tried to push back up to its resistance, forming a double top, and we're still at the resistance very close to about this 105 area. If we break this, we're going back up towards 110. If we reject it, we're going back down to 103. We're kind of stuck right now, so we just have to give this some time to see if we reject or not. But so far, Nvidia is doing a good job at holding up. The chart is trying to push. We did see some complications, but it does favor upside a little bit more, so watch for that just to be safe. Bitcoin's looking more bullish as we're breaking past 60,000. We're at resistance at 61,000. Break that, we're going up to 62,200. If we reject here, we'll be dipping back down towards 60,500. So we're looking more bullish. For ES, we're at resistance right now. We're going to be looking at 5360 as resistance. If that breaks, we're bullish. If not, we're going to be retracing down to 5300. We're at resistance on SPX at 5325. If we break the 50 EMA, we're going to be pushing up for at least 5380. If we reject, we're going to be dipping back down towards our gap, which is at 5200. So far, we're doing a good job at holding up. Tesla has a nice little rebound attempt forming a bullish wedge. This looks a little bit more bullish, technically speaking. If we break outs tomorrow, we'll be looking for 202. But if we end up losing 197 to 198, that's going to be where our 20 EMA happens to be. We're going to turn back down to 195 or lower. This chart's favoring upside right now, forming a bullish wedge. So it might try to push tomorrow. So watch for that. That could be more positive for NIO. QQQ is above 446 and also 448. As long as we hold above 448, we're easily going up towards the 455 area. If we reject and lose 448, look for 444 to be retested and 442. This chart is favoring the upside. For Aapl, there's a very, very nice looking uptrend right here. We have 214 as resistance. If we break this, we could be pushing for this 200 EMA at 216. Then we have this big gap to fill all the way up towards 219. If we lose support at 211, we'll be dipping all the way down towards 208, but this chart is favoring the upside. For a few more, we have the IWM Russell 2000. We're at resistance around this 207 area. If we reject, we'll be dipping back down to 205, then 202. And if we're bullish, you want to break past 208 to push up to about 211. So watch resistance in this 208 to 207 area and see if you reject. We're at resistance, so give it some time. But just note that this has more potential to try to test this high at 208. And we'll see if you reject or not. So I do see potential in the IWM. Coin is also looking more bullish, trying to push up towards 200. Might try to hit 200. We'll see if you reject or not, but this is still respecting an uptrend. Amazon's at resistance at 166. If this breaks, we're going up to 168 and 170. If it rejects, we're going back down to about 164. It's trying to hold up. We got to try to break 166 for confirmation. We're doing a good job at holding up, so we'll see if that breaks. Meta looks more bullish, technically speaking. We actually broke our highs. So this is favoring if we hold above 512, we're likely going to be going all the way up closer to 520. If we do reject on this, we could be retracing back down to 501, but this chart's favoring upside. Microsoft is also holding up very well, consolidating. We want to see if this could break past 406 to start pushing up towards 408. If we end up losing 402, we'll be dipping back down, but it's looking more bullish to me. For Google, we're looking more bullish. We have a nice double bottom-like structure. If we break past 166, then we can try to fill this gap up to 168. If we lose 163, we'll be dipping back down, but this is favoring upside a little bit more, so watch for that. So the market's looking a little bit more bullish heading into tomorrow. That does not mean the move is going to last forever. Don't forget we have CPI next week and other factors, but there might be a little push coming that looks a little bit more favorable looking at the charts. But don't be too confident yet. I'm not saying it's going to happen at 110%. Wait for confirmation if you hold above particular levels. With that being said, I want to thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. NIO has potential to hold up as long as we're above 3.8. $4 should be coming very soon. As long as we hold above this level and we kind of hold up with Tesla, there's a good chance that's going to happen. Thank you for listening. Have a great day, guys, and peace out.